The fan is a hard act to. Ukraine MERP and YRP multi-year resilience program. I'm very pleased to have with us from my left His Excellency, the Minister of Education and Science, Oksen Lisovyi. Beside him, Education Cannot Wait Executive Director, Yasmine Sherif. And to her left, First Deputy Minister of Education and Science, Yevhen Kudriavets. The Minister will speak first, followed by Yasmine. Translation is available in English on Channel 1 and in Ukraine on Channel 3. And I know that we have media in the room and we also have media online. I know some of you, but not all of you, so when you ask your question, just please give us your name and your organization. That would be terrific. Let's get started, and we look forward to hearing from the Minister and then from Yasmine. Thank you very much. And over to you, Your Excellency.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity to present here in the walls of the United Nations. And I'm very happy to talk today about the education. Dear Ms. Sherif, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, every seventh Ukrainian school is damaged today due to Russian attacks. And more than 200 schools are completely destroyed and they cannot be rebuilt. And there are 1,600 schools are damaged and they need rebuild and re-equipment. And this is the major impact on our educational infrastructure, but not only. The most important that behind every school we have people and we have kids. What are the dreams of Ukrainian kids right now about new reconstructed school with the shelter? That was mentioned in her letter by a pupil from Kyiv region, whose school the Russian occupants completely destroyed. What do parents think about? They think about kids to be able to cope and go on time to the shelter. We have the air raid sirens every day in Ukraine and in some cities 10 times per day. What are the worries about teachers? How can we interest pupils when we have the online education again? And the fully online, more than 6,100 pupils are taking classes and 900,000 are learning in blended learning. Now we concentrate on efforts to return the usual normal education for each kid, the access to safe and education of high quality, despite the war. Last year, our team resumed one of the most successful reforms in Ukrainian education, which is called New Ukrainian School. Its funding was stopped because of war in 2022, but last year we resumed printing books, training teachers and buy necessary equipment for the classrooms. And now we are actively build shelters in the schools and also schools in the shelters underground. We do this using the state budget and also with the support of our partners, because having a shelter in the school is the prerequisite for the school to work offline. And around 80% of Ukrainian schools have already shelters, but our goal is to support every single education establishment with a safe and reliable shelter, because it can be an extra Ukraine education space. I think education cannot wait to join our coalition of devices. From the very beginning of the full-scale invasion for Ukrainian teachers and pupils, with the support of various partners, we were able to provide 100,000, 66,000 devices. And critical need for this year is more than 120,000, and we work on this together. But besides the response to the war to the war challenges, we focus on the transformation of education. We work towards fundamentally changing the education system to modernize the network of universities and strengthen the agency of students, providing them with more freedom and instruments for self-development. And also, we focus our attention over the reforming vocational education and training, as it will play a key role in reconstruction of Ukraine. And we plan to create more than 100 more workshops in the vocational education institutions. And today, Ukraine has the will and resource not only to survive, but to develop. That's why we approach the expenses on education as investments in the human capital, and in building the democracy, in building a strong and resilient state. And the education of Ukraine, it's about the applicable knowledge, soft skills, mental safety, and freedom of choice. And of course, it's about lifelong learning. And these changes on the level, they require time and resources, very complicated decisions, and new approaches. And in the times of war, it's a double challenge, but also it's additional motivation because there is the high time for these changes. And I'm immensely grateful to the Education Cannot Wait and to Ms. Yasmine Sherif personally for our common vision and support. It's not because you help Ukraine to respond to challenges, but also you support the development of Ukrainian education. Thank you so much.
Your Excellency, and now over to Yasmine Sherif, Executive Director of Education Cannot Wait.
Thank you very much. And first of all, thank you very much, Your Excellency, Minister of Education and Science, Your Excellency Lisovyi. It's a pleasure working with you and your entire team, including your Deputy Minister, His Excellency Kudriavets, whom we have had very close collaboration for a long time. Today, Education Cannot Wait, and as you know, we are a global fund for education in emergencies and protracted crisis. We are in the UN system, specifically hosted by UNICEF, but we serve the entire UN system, UN member states, working very closely with civil society, local communities, and both public and private sector donors. Education Cannot Wait, which was created by the UN Special Envoy for Global Education at the World Humanitarian Summit in 2017, the UN Special Envoy for Education, Gordon Brown. Education Cannot Wait today have invested in over 44 conflict and crisis and climate-affected countries. When it comes to Ukraine, our very first investment was through UNICEF already back in 2017 due to the insecurities on the border. And then after that, in 2022, we acted very fast with an additional first emergency response of $5 million for Save the Children and UNICEF. We have also made investments for Ukrainian refugees in Moldova. Today, we are launching a program that totals $35 million. And at Education Cannot Wait, we use our pooled funding mechanism and put in $18 million to entice and kickstart and attract more contributors to fill the entire funding gap. The program has been developed in close coordination with the Minister of Education and his excellent team at the Ministry of Education, Finnish Church Aid, and all the humanitarian colleagues and actors on the ground, including Ukrainian civil society. It will be implemented by the Finnish Church Aid and also by the Kyiv School of Economics and will last from 2024 to 2026. In this program, we already have a major contribution from Germany of $10 million, and of course all other earmarked for Ukraine, but of course all other our strategic donor partners, 25 of them, you can see on our website, have contributed. In addition, as a very first contributor to fill the gap of 17 million that we are calling for today, the government of Japan has earmarked and will soon release $3 million specifically for our education investments in Ukraine and this particular program, which is a joint program. We often speak about humanitarian development nexus. This is it. This is what we are doing, addressing the immediate needs while also working with the government to ensure a long-term investment in the Ukrainian education system. I will just quickly say what the program will cover. It will ensure that all the teachers and children in the East and the South region have access to mental health and psychosocial services, renovating damaged or destroyed schools so that the children can return safely. There are about 4,500 schools that are either damaged or destroyed. Expand access, and this is so very important. It's not the only solution, but it's an important solution to digital education for children who are not able to attend the school physically, and also to invest in the teachers. Without teachers, there is no education. So a large part of this will also go towards the teachers. I would also like to thank all our partners in country who continuously work on children and adolescents education. And in regard to ISW's direct work and funding, the Global Business Coalition that contributed and announced $50 million in devices through the business sector, private sector, for Ukraine, which they are delivering on, and Their Word, which is a very strong partner of education, cannot wait, to also have given specific priority and focus to Ukraine and their investments. I will stop here, and are you going to add to something? You are so active. You're so active, but I have the minister, and we'll stop here and take questions. Thank you, Kent.
Thank you very much, Yasmine. Now, we can't launch an MYRP without a very brief, quick signing ceremony. So I've got a certificate here and two official ECW pens for signature by Yasmine and by Your Excellency. And then you can hold it up for the photographer.
So this is the W pens.
Then Yasmine, if you can hold it up with the minister for, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Lots of pictures happening.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you, Yasmine. Any questions? Yes, absolutely. Just your name and your organization, if you can start, please.
I may translate into Ukrainian by myself, if you like. My name is Volodymyr Ilchenko, Ukrinform, the National News Agency of Ukraine. Got a question for the minister. Ukrainian children abducted by Russia are exposed to Russian propaganda and brainwashing, including fantasies about Russian history. Is there any program to re-educate them after they return home?
Thank you. The Ministry of Education and Science, starting from the very first day, we started to work with expert political institutions, and we developed a special program of the methodological recommendations for Ukrainian schools as to how to talk with the kids about war. And this is multi-aspect program. It's also about the psychological questions. It's about Ukrainian identity and the first reasons and values why this aggression is taking place against Ukraine. So this very big package of methodological recommendations, it's already in the schools and teachers are using this. And also we have developed the recommendations for the history books. And it's very important and significant for those kids that you have mentioned, the abducted kids who are right now under very high psychological informational pressure, and Ukrainian kids which are in occupied territories and are under this pressure as well. We have to bring them back to Ukrainian environment. And today we have a big group and powerful group of Ukrainian and international authorities who try to bring Ukrainian abducted kids back. And it's a very complicated work. We have thousands of kids back. Their emotional and psychological conditions is very complicated, but when they come back, they are rehabilitating quite quickly, and this means that we have developed, they are working very effectively. The most important is to provide the access to these means.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Noreen Hussain with IPS News. My question is actually for Ms. Sherif. To the ministers, if they would also like to answer. The proposed vocational programs that you wish to invest in and sort of provide, I want to know if the UN will be involved in their facilitation or coordination. Thank you.
Please, if you want to start.
Today, vocational education and training is one of the biggest priorities in Ukraine education reforms. We have the range of programs which are directed at creating special environments in vocational training institutions, also training teachers who are working in these vocational education training institutions, and also preparation education management, and also involving experts to help us form policies that will regulate this sphere. And this support is very important for us, and thank you so much for you supporting us in this.
You want to speak?
Well, I think His Excellency has explained this very well and more in detail since he's leading this program. However, I'd like to say that in every investment that Education Cannot Wait makes, it's all done through the in-country United Nations coordination mechanism in every country. So clearly this program has been developed within the humanitarian cluster in close cooperation with the Ministry of Education. And as is the 99% of the cases, the ministry is in the lead, working together with the United Nations on the ground.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? And are there any questions from the journalists joining online? Wonderful. I want to thank the Minister, the First Deputy Minister, and Yasmine, and all of you for participating in this very important Ukraine multi-year resilience program launch with Education Cannot Wait. And I know that this got off to a bit of a late start because the briefing started late, but it's been great to have you with us. Thank you very much.